Netflix is druk bezig met zijn uitrol in Europa. Na Groot-Britannië en Scandinavië is nu Nederland aan de beurt. Met Netflix kunnen gebruikers voor een relatief laag bedrag onbeperkt films en tv-series streamen. Maar zitten Nederlanders er eigenlijk wel op te wachten? We vroegen het aan de CEO van Netflix, Reed Hastings.
Why are you expanding in the Netherlands?
Well, the Netherlands has some of the highest speed broadband in the world. One of the top nations in terms of residential speed. My first company, Pure Software, had its European headquarters here in Amsterdam. So I spent a lot of time here from 93 to 96. And what I remember was how hard it was to get just one additional phone line from KPN to be able to do dial-up. I mean, it was incredibly hard. And now, 20 years later, to have the Netherlands be the highest broadband speeds, in all of Europe, it's amazing. And the Dutch consumers are watching a lot of internet video already.
Do you think that they will switch to legal Netflix content?
Well, certainly there's some torrenting that goes on, and that's true around the world. But some of that just creates the demand. Netflix is so much easier than torrenting because you don't have to deal with files, you don't have to download them and move them around. You just click and watch. And so it's so easy. And we let everybody try Netflix for free just by visiting netflix.nl.
Is that something you've seen in other countries that where Netflix has rolled out? That when you launch, that people stop downloading and switch to the streaming service?
Well, a few people do. In Canada, BitTorrent's down by about 50% since Netflix launched 3 years ago. But there's still a lot of people who torrent, in Canada. You're never gonna, and we don't even think about trying to get rid of it. What we really think about is how do we build an awesome service that people just want to use and watch because we have great shows and it's so easy and it's inexpensive.
Can you tell us something about how you first started Netflix?
Sure, it's about 15 years ago, and I had gotten a big late fee from Blockbuster back then for renting a movie. It was all my fault, but it still bothered me. And e-commerce was just starting then, Amazon, and so it made me think about trying to do a service. And our first business was mailing DVDs by post. And that was until about 2006, 2007, and that's when we started streaming. And then streaming has been this huge growth for us around the world. Now we're 41 countries, over 37 million members, all streaming.
And are you thinking about further expansion into Europe, like Belgium, for example?
Absolutely. We'd love to expand further, throughout Europe, and to offer our service really around the whole world. We want to get incredible amounts of content and enable it around the world so that it's very convenient and very inexpensive.
So, some people compare Netflix to Spotify. How do you feel about that comparison?
Well, Spotify is a great music service. Music licensing is different. It's not exclusive. So Spotify gets to carry basically all the songs of the world. And with us, we have to compete for shows with RTL, with HBO, and if they win, then they block us from it. So it's exclusive licensing. So video is a lot different. But like Spotify, we're unlimited watching for a low price. So there are some similarities.
How do you feel about the way that the TV industry works, where you have to get exclusive licenses?
Well, it's the way TV channels have always worked. I mean, I wish we could offer everything, for a low price, and we want to work towards that. But given that we're blocked, we have great content. Frankly, we have so much content, you could never watch it all. So, we've got a lot there. It's just amazing shows.
You said something about HBO and RTL before. Do you see them as your main competitors in the Netherlands?
Well, there'll be two of the main competitors, but in general, think of all the ways that you spend time. It's Thursday night, you get home from work, and what do you want to do? And, so we think about is that we compete with video gaming, and we compete with, just killing time on browsing the web, and we compete very broadly for time. And what we want to do is have such a good experience that you're looking forward to getting home and just, sitting in a chair with your iPad and watch some Netflix.
It's not so much competing with going to the cinema, for example.
No, that's not. That's much more of a social experience, going to the cinema and seeing a new movie. Now we have a vast selection of movies, incredible documentaries, all these great Academy Award winners, so great selection. And so we're more about the selection, and you know, again, it's Sunday night, it's 9 o'clock, you want some great ending to the weekend, and you watch a good movie.
Now there has been complaining about, well, the limited selection of Netflix. What would you like to say to those consumers?
It always, with Netflix, people want us to have everything, and we want to have everything. But the problem is that RTL and HBO, they block us from having everything. So we have as much as we can get for now, and as we grow, we're going to be able to get more and more. But already we have, again, thousands of episodes to be able to watch, and it's more than any one person can watch, and there's so many great shows on.
But of course, from newer seasons, there are episodes missing. Are you trying to get those onto Netflix?
Well, that's why we're expanding exactly into original content, like Hemlock Grove and Orange is the New Black and House of Cards. And in those shows, we control the rights, and then we make sure it's available at the same time in the Netherlands and in the United States. So it's the same across the whole country, and always the first premiere episodes. So that's with our new shows that we're developing.
Speaking about those new shows, does it make business sense to keep doing that? Because of course it's very expensive to compete with HBO on a new show.
It is very expensive to produce those new shows, but our members love it. And they love that we've got the first series, the premiere windows, that there's no waiting and no delays. So it's been very successful for us. Our members are very pleased.
And was it difficult to compete for the rights for Dutch TV shows, like original Dutch TV shows?
Absolutely. There's a lot of bidders for the content, and so we have to pay a lot to be able to get access to any particular show. And so it's good for the producers because there's one more bidder, but the other networks are not so happy about having the other bidder.
Well, originally you've always been offering your services over the top, but now in the United Kingdom you started offering Netflix on top of the Virgin Media box, the set-top boxes. Are you thinking about doing that in the Netherlands as well?
So Netflix can be used on almost any device. So a phone, a smartphone, an iPad, a PS3, a smart TV, an Apple TV, and we're always adding more devices. And in the UK, we're on one more device, which is a TiVo. We're already on TiVos in the US, but now we're on these TiVos. So think of it as just one more device that we're available on. But our application is very used, and so it's really on every device.
When are you satisfied with the expansion to the Netherlands? How much customers do you expect or want to have in a year?
Well, in the first year, we're very focused just on reputation, that the people who use us love us, that the streaming works really well, that it's a high-definition picture, that the customer support is good, the billing's perfect. And then in the future years, of course, we do want to expand. In the US, we're about 1 in 3 households now subscribed to Netflix. So over the next 5 to 10 years, we'd like to get to that kind of success. And we do that if we have good enough content and a great service at a really low price, at €7.99 a month.
So you're still expanding the library, what's on right now?
Absolutely. We're constantly expanding. We'll have, already on Netflix, there's more content than any one person could watch, but then we're adding to it more and more, as we've done in every nation that we've opened in. We start with a great selection, and then we just make it even better and better.
And Netflix has been making original content. Are you thinking about making original content inside of the Netherlands?
Absolutely. One of our first original contents is actually made in Norway, Lillehammer. And it's a great show. It's a mix of Norwegian and English. And it's a show really made for the global market, including Norway, but it's been super successful in Norway. So that's an example of the work that we're doing.